Not go to our salt barn. That is also a site where it's active with trucks coming in and out. Another thing, we will provide updates as this storm progresses and as we know more. It may be via email, or if needed, it'll be a Zoom type update. Also, I have a statement for our unhoused citizens that I will be sending to you and to the newsrooms from our Neighborhood Services Department. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm also going to say that once the storm is active, we would ask that you do not contact our operations team. They're going to be in the field working. If you have questions or need something, please contact me directly, okay? With that, I'm going to turn it over to Keith Huff. He's our Field Operations Director.
Thank you, Deb. Again, my name's Keith Huff. I'm with the City of Winston-Salem's Field Operations Department. And regarding the roads, we're going to break this down in preemptive phases, pre-event phase versus what we're going to do during the storm. So crews have been working all week in preparatory mode for the event. Basically what that consists of is loading trucks, putting spreaders together, preparing brine, all the necessary things to deploy that equipment when the time comes. Also, some pre-event items are we're distributing brine on the roadways now, and will be doing so up until the event. When the event actually occurs, we will shift into our inclement weather mode. That's when our crews are going to be working 12-hour shifts, and basically we will be on the roads, whatever the situation calls for, either brining, using snow plows, and road salt to clear the roads. Let's talk a little bit about priority of the road networks that we're going to work on. So when crews are deployed, they're going to start on the major road networks first and the critical care routes. So when those areas are cleared, then we will move to the collector streets. When the collector streets are cleared, then we will move on to the residential roads. So we're going to maintain that hierarchy. And we're going to try to be focused and diligent as we move through that hierarchy. So we would request, if you see this equipment on the road, give it a wide berth. Let them do their job. And in general, if folks don't need to be out on the roads, our advice is stay at home. So thank you for that. Next is August Vernon, Emergency Management.
Where is your jacket? First thing, you need to have a jacket when a winter storm comes. All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is August Vernon. I'm the director with the City and County Office of Emergency Management. I've got a couple notes here. First, my message, I was thinking about this a little bit. I think let's look out for our community and our neighbors. I think that's one of the best ways to plan and prepare for whatever happens with the coming event. Obviously, on the public safety and the city and county and state side, officials have begin our daily briefings in our meetings, and that's with our local partners, our state partners, our county partners, our public safety partners, and those will continue what we call a battle rhythm until the event ends. I think one note, based on some questions I've got, we still have 3 days to prepare, so no need to panic, and let's use that time wisely. So again, no need to panic. We still have some time here. And you have time to get ready, and I would ask that everyone be patient with the others who are trying to get ready. I've already heard about some unhappy people at stores and gas stations and things like that, so let's be patient. We have time. I think the best plan for an event like this is batten down the hatches, hunker down, and shelter in place. Once the event begins, the safest thing for you is be in whatever is a safe place for you and your family. If you need to do any travel, please do it before the storm begins. That is the safest route for you to take. Also, what we talked about the last briefing, we're already seeing it again. Please use trusted sources of information, which include our media partners and the City of Winston-Salem Marketing Communications. There's already a lot of incorrect posts and information coming out on social media. And like I explained last time, I'll explain again. One of the things that's happening that we've learned, we have received already today 2 different briefings from the National Weather Service. That has picked up that pace, and that will continue until next week of getting at least 2 briefings a day in person, well, virtually, and updated slides and things like that. When the forecasters do their forecast, they pick most likely scenario, best case scenario, and worst case scenario. People are grabbing that worst case scenario or some other scenario that's even worse and posting that. So again, please use trusted sources of information. And I think back to basic disaster preparedness, what we always ask in emergency management. Sorry about that. Let's have some emergency kits in our residence, in our community, our place of business. Those consist of water, 1 gallon per person per day. You can plan for that. Non-perishable, easy to prepare food. Battery-powered or hand crank radios. We are all very dependent upon our cell phones, but there are other options out there that are good to have. Extra batteries, a first aid kit. Medications, you again have time to try to go get 7 days worth of medications and medical items. Conduct extra planning if you have infants, elderly, special needs within your family, and obviously prepare your pets and livestock for whatever's about to occur. We have plenty of information to share, so please go see our website, Ready for Scythe, and the social media on Ready for Scythe. We will update information as we get it, and we have a lot of accurate information on preparedness on Ready for Scythe, and that will send you to our other partners like American Red Cross, Salvation Army, and groups like that. Also, the state has what is called Ready NC, and the federal government has what's called ready.gov. Any one of those 3 sources is a good source of information. Also, our partners at Marketing Communications will be putting out information. And again, just in closing, reminder to use those trusted sources of information. And I'll kind of close with my earlier message. The best way to prepare for this is check on your neighbors, check on your family. Let's look out for our community, and I think we'll be better moving forward with that. So that is all I have right now. Well, we would encourage, there are groups that work with the elderly, for them to reach out to those groups, to reach out to neighbors, friends, communities. Some of our strongest partners in the community are houses of worship and churches. So I think I would try to work through those resources. And I think some of that is, you putting that information out. I have a family member, if I said, go look up this app or a website, he would not know how to do that. So I think that's why it's important to put this information out with you guys.
How many days of preparedness would you say they need?
Minimum of 3. We always, talk about 3, but that's the bare minimum. We would always want people to have more. I don't think you need to become a doomsday prepper and have 2 months of supplies. You can do that if you want that, to do that, but let's look at 3 to 5 days.
You had talked a lot about just preventing misinformation, and I have a guess about why that's important, but for our viewers at home, why is it so important to be wary against misinformation about this type of weather event?
Well, with any event, whether it's weather or any other incident or event or a hurricane or anything, we want everyone to have the most accurate, up-to-date, correct information so you can make your own judgment about being self-reliant and making your own plans. So that's why I think incorrect information never helps in these scenarios.
What are some of the things that you do see out there where people decide to go out on the road and they shouldn't, or they're stuck in some type of emergency?
Let's let them pass. Well, a couple personal notes. One, once the storm stops, stay off the road. I do know, as a reminder, after winter weather events and hurricanes and tropical storms, more injuries and fatalities occur after the storm. It's people wanting to go out. And I understand it, if you're home for 3 days, you are ready to get out. But we certainly would caution you against that. Also, when you're on the road, it also puts our responders at risk who are having a very challenging time to be moving around if and when this starts occurring. So it's really more of a safety for both our community and for the responders and for our workers who have to be on the street.
August, would it be fair to say that your crews, your staff, learn from every weather event they deal with?
We absolutely do. Every event's different, and it's been a while. Even we were trying to figure out, thinking back 2018 time frame, it's been a while since we've had something like that. I've heard from people who've never been through a winter event. A lot of people have moved here that haven't, so that's another reason we want this information to come out.
Are there any particular lessons that you're drawing on from previous storms that you're planning to implement when we go into this one?
I think one of the things we've always learned, and we're getting better about it because technology's gotten better, we started talking about this weekend. So the more lead time, again, we still have 3 days versus before we'd had a day or two to prepare, we now have 3 days. So I think that's important.
Also, as a side note, I know there's a salt barn back there. Do you foresee having enough salt to deal with this weather event?
Well,
The impact and the lingering days after.
well, I'll let Mr. Huff answer that answer.
Thank you, sir. To your question, we have approximately 2,800 tons of road salt. We use that to make our brine as well, so we're amply stocked right now for the event.
And the lingering days after as well.
Yes, yes.
Speaking of, this could either be Brian or Olivia, so whoever thinks they have the best answer for this. So we heard from NCBO's earlier that there is some concern about these lingering days, just how cold it's going to be and the effectiveness of brine and salt. Is that something you're also tracking?
Oh, absolutely. So with the days to follow, obviously we're going to get lows in the single digits. The brine loses its effectiveness when the temperature drops. Same with the road salt. So obviously that's a concern, and that means that citizens can expect to see the whatever it is, snow, ice, sleet, lingering for a longer period of time.
How many crews will you have out there? Maybe somebody in Roadway or out there?
Yeah, we're all hands on deck. So all of our frontline staff will be responding to this. Every single person we have available.
I can ask the question ahead. How many lane miles do you have to cover? When is the preparation starting, and when do you expect it to end? The brining process.
Gotcha. So we have 1,250 centerline miles of road that we own, operate, and maintain. So brining has started today. It will continue until the event starts and brining is no longer effective. For the Central Business District, we brine and salt only the Central Business District, or downtown for folks, because you can't really push the snow out of there. So you've got to melt it away. And to your question, that's where the temperatures are not favorable for that activity. So we'll just have to be diligent about that and apply as need be. But when it ends when our roads are clear and there's no more threat to the traveling public.
Help me understand the center line.
Yeah, so a road can have 2 lanes, it could have 4 lanes. We're talking center line miles. So you could have a road with a divided highway and 2 lanes on either side, so multiple lanes. So there you go. We cover it all. Anything that the city owns, operates, and maintains, and that's exception of privately maintained or privately owned roads, that's what we're geared to handle.
Can you talk about which streets are priority for
Yeah, so your priority streets are your major roads, secondary roads. Country Club is what we consider a major road. A collector road is one that gathers the residential roads together so citizens can get in and out of their neighborhood. And then obviously residential roads is where their house is fronting, typically speaking.
I think I remember last year when we had that bit of snow, you guys really hit on heavy about trying to keep the roadways open for the hospitals. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, so critical care routes, as we talked about before, that is one of our initial clearing efforts right there. So your Baptist Hospital, Novant Health, those areas, dialysis centers, they're all part of that initial wave of treatment as far as scraping, plowing, salting. That's our initial effort right there.
Thank you, everyone. We have some B-roll footage of the brine tank being loaded and mixed, and we have some footage of the truck being loaded with the brine. We'll send that B-roll to everyone, to all the stations, so be on the lookout for that. Again, communication is key, so we'll be sending updates regularly throughout the start of the event through the completion of the event. And please just make sure that you use the marketing and communications team, myself, or Sue Spainhour as your conduit for questions so we can have the team free to get out there and do what they need to do. Okay? As soon as I get back to the office, I will send the unhoused statement from our neighborhood services team directly to you. Okay? Yes, if we can keep it just contained within the marketing and communications, my email or Sue Spainhour's email. I'll be available pretty much throughout the entire event. So just keep your phones and your computers on. You'll get updates regularly. Okay? You're very welcome. Thank you for coming.
Out there too, so be careful.
Be careful driving, you all.